To understand how COVID impacted black people and how you still have this racial inequality economically in this country, which is one of the themes of the Poor People's Campaign we talk about tomorrow. A new study from the Center on Budget and Policy Priorities showed the impact of COVID on people of color. The report is shocking, and that is, in September 2020, 55% of all adult renters reported a loss of income due to COVID. For Latinos and black folks, 65 and 57%. But really what jumps out here, to run, is that when you look at here, black families with children struggle the most. An average of 32% said they were behind on rent, compared to 23% for Latino and Asian families with children and 18% for white families. People are always talking about, oh, we don't see systemic racism, these things don't matter. But here's a perfect example of how when COVID hits, when there's a pandemic, when there's a downturn, a recession, black people and Latinos, Asians are greatly impacted economically.
And anytime the American economy coughs, black people get sick. And unfortunately, what are the numbers now? That black people as a whole have maybe just enough money to cover like 1 month of being out of work, and then you're facing homelessness or some sort of disaster. A lot of black people don't have enough money to cover themselves for that last couple of months. And this is a pandemic that's going on almost 2.5 years, and people still have not recovered from it. If you look at the disparities between white income and black income, then it just makes sense that people who are out of work or have to take out of their savings to cover their bills are going to be affected by this. And if you are a single parent with children who have to be provided for every day, that even makes it more stressful. So unfortunately, I'm not surprised by any of these numbers, which goes back to my point earlier about we need to try to siphon some money away from so much focus on defense and military spending, and maybe move some of this money over to people who really desperately need it, who are in this country right now.
Kelly, here's what it says. Go back to the graphic. Federal aid programs have helped cut the number of struggling renters, but still, right now, 10.4 million renters say they have yet to get caught up on rent.
I mean, that doesn't surprise me. I mean, with what's going, like, I live in D.C., right? And I have been fortunate to have relatively affordable rent for somebody who lives in D.C. proper. But for many people, friends, family, colleagues, everyone, rent is way too damn high. Like, the rent is too damn high. And for people who suffered at the hands of lack of employment as a result of the pandemic, I can't imagine how they could have caught up. Even if it's been 2.5 years, just because the rent for a lot of buildings did not stop increasing, or they just started increasing within the last year because there was like a moratorium on rent increases. But even with that moratorium, the rent was too high then. So I can only imagine how they are faring now. It is ridiculous. Housing should not be a privilege, especially when it is so integral to life in this country, or having a productive life in this country. Something's got to be done about it. I'm just not sure exactly what or how, or if it's going to be done at all.
Michael, also what it shows here, go back to the graphic, 8 of the 10 states with the highest rates of housing hardship in the South, where, of course, African Americans make up a larger share of renters compared to other regions.
Yeah, Roland, the housing crisis is getting worse. And then there was a report that came out today. I think it was on MSNBC. They were talking about it today. And I've seen it over the past couple of weeks, where you have corporations who are buying up single bedroom homes, okay, and then renting them out at inflated rates as well. So we know there was $46.5 billion in the $1.9 trillion American Rescue Plan for renters as well as landlords. That's largely been exhausted, even though some states may still have a little money left. But we're really about to hit a crisis as evictions have started back up, and as evictions escalate, we're really about to start to hit a crisis when it comes to housing if this is not addressed. And it's going to have to come from federal, state, and local government. Okay, I don't think it's just going to be federal government. But one of the things that has to happen as we deal with inflation and we deal with 8.6% inflation year over year, one of the things that is going to have to happen is somehow you're going to have to rein in these corporations that are buying up these homes and then renting them out at inflated prices.
All right, folks, back to our Roland Mark Unfiltered video in just one moment.
How about sushi?
I just had sushi for lunch yesterday.
How about tacos?
Automatic emergency braking, one of 6 advanced safety features standard on every 2022 Chevy Equinox. Find new technology. Find new roads. Chevrolet.
Folks, Black Star Network is here.
Hold no punches.
I'm real revolutionary right now.
Support this man, Black Media. He makes sure that our stories are told.
Thank you for being the voice of Black America, Roland.
Stay black. I love y'all.
All momentum we have now, we have to keep this going.
The video looks phenomenal.
See, there's a difference between Black Star Network and Black-owned media and something like CNN.
You can't be Black-owned media and be scared.
It's time to be smart.
Bring your eyeballs home.
You dig?